All right, so get this for this deep dive. Someone sent us this clip, and it's wild. It's like from a YouTube channel, but it's in Spanish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, about AI. So talk about insider access, right? Like we're
Yeah.
getting into like this AI summit just by chance,
Right.
but it's on YouTube and you can practically hear the crowd like buzzing in the background.
Yeah, no, it's true. It really highlights how global this whole AI movement is becoming.
It is. And the energy of the speakers in the clip,
Yeah.
John and Jonathan,
Yeah.
they're like they've got the secret, like they've got the secret to the future and they're letting us in on it.
Well, and what really struck me was the way they put it, like, this isn't about choosing to adopt AI. It's like it's already overtaking us, whether we like it or not.
Oh, it's like we're all going to get left at the station if we don't get on this train now.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Think about the internet smartphones. Like, the folks who thrived weren't the ones who were like, oh, should I get one? Should I not? They were the ones figuring out how to use it, to get ahead.
I know, right? And that's what I think is so cool about this deep dive is we're not talking about some like abstract, AI that's coming in the future. This is about tools and strategies that we can use like right now.
Absolutely.
But before we even get into that,
Yeah.
like who are these John and Jonathan guys?
So they're actually a really good example of how AI expertise is changing.
Yeah.
John's an entrepreneur, kind of had his aha moment with AI, and Jonathan kind of fell into it. Yeah.
So they're not like these tech geniuses in a basement somewhere.
Not at all. And that's the thing that's becoming more and more common. It's everyday people from all walks of life,
Yeah.
Who are now becoming the AI experts, which is really cool.
I love that. It's
Yeah.
like that old saying, like, the best way to predict the future is to create it. But I think now it's like the best way to understand AI is to just dive in and use it.
I totally agree.
So, okay, these guys are really pumped about this AI named Amy. And before you think this is like some virtual assistant,
Right.
Amy is way more interesting than that.
This is not Siri or Alexa.
Yeah.
Amy's different. Amy is a medical AI developed by Google. And get this, she's being used in healthcare settings like right now.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's wild. They actually showed a graph of this, which I thought was really interesting. Because it wasn't about AI replacing doctors, but more about how AI can take what a doctor can do to like a whole other level.
It was a really powerful visualization of how AI can amplify human potential, not just, replace it.
Yeah. Okay. So then they said something that really blew my mind. They were like, yeah, well, in some fields, AI alone is already outperforming humans.
Yeah, that got my attention too.
I know, right? Like
Yeah.
what? And then they were saying, like, for example, someone let ChatGPT take the SATs, the big college entrance exam,
Oh, yeah.
and it scored higher than 93% of students who took the same test.
Yeah. Basically putting it in the top 7%.
Yeah.
It really makes you think, like, what is intelligence, right?
I know. It's kind of amazing and terrifying at the same time.
It is.
Like, if AI can crush standardized tests like that, what does that mean for the future of education? Or even just for how we measure human potential in general?
These are the big questions we're all trying to figure out right now.
And it's not just theoretical either.
Right.
They were talking about this company, Klarna, I think it was called,
Okay.
which is an online payment company, like a PayPal.
Okay.
And they're handling, get this, 2.7 million customer service chats every single month using AI.
2.7 million. That's incredible.
I know, that's more conversations than I think I've had in my entire life.
Right.
And the crazy part is customer satisfaction stayed exactly the same, even with AI handling most of the questions.
Which, tells you something about how good these AI systems are getting.
Right. And it makes you think, like, what could we achieve if we had that kind of AI power at our fingertips?
That's what I'm saying. They were saying a lot of people are stuck thinking about AI as this far off thing, but it's here. It's already changing things. And we have to figure out, are we going to get left behind, or are we going to figure out how to use this to our advantage?
And they had some pretty interesting examples of how businesses are already starting to use it to do exactly that, to not just keep up, but to actually get ahead.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting, because they start talking about how AI is actually changing the very fabric of how we do business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of changing how we do business,
Okay.
they started talking about these things called custom GPTs.
Custom GPTs. Okay. Now you're going to have to break that down for me.
All right. So imagine taking ChatGPT,
Okay.
but like tailoring it for a very specific purpose.
Okay.
That's what a custom GPT is. So you're basically training these AI models on like really specific data sets. So it could be like a library of medical textbooks, or it could even be like your company's entire history of customer interactions.
So instead of just like a general AI, you've got one that's like a specialist.
Exactly.
Oh, that's interesting.
And they had some really cool examples of how businesses are already using these custom GPTs to do some really complex tasks.
Oh, really? Like what?
So John was saying he used a custom GPT to analyze all of his customer feedback.
Okay.
So he fed it like years of customer review support tickets, social media mentions, all of it.
Wow. And then what happens?
He was able to find all these like trends and patterns that would have taken like a human team forever to uncover.
Really?
Like, for example, I found like all these complaints about this one specific product feature that he hadn't even noticed before. So he was able to actually go in, fix it, make the product better, all thanks to his little custom GPT.
That's amazing. It's like having a whole team of like data analysts working for you.
I know, right?
Except it's just this one AI.
Exactly.
That's wild. What about Jonathan? Did he have any cool examples?
Oh, yeah. So with his background in marketing, he was all about these custom GPTs.
Okay.
He was saying how he uses them to come up with content ideas, write website copy, create social media posts, all of it.
So he's like automating his whole marketing department with AI.
Basically, yeah. And it's not even just about, saving time and money, although that's obviously a huge part of it.
Sure.
But it's about being able to do things that just weren't possible before.
Okay.
Like imagine being able to create like 1,000 different versions of a marketing email, but each one is personalized to that specific customer,
Oh, wow.
their interests, their purchase history, you name it.
Yeah, that would take a human team like months to do.
Exactly. A custom GPT can do that in like hours, maybe even minutes,
Ah.
and can actually analyze the results in real time and keep getting better.
So where does that leave the humans?
Right. That's the big question.
Yeah.
And you know what? They actually addressed that.
I did.
They said a lot of people are afraid that AI is going to replace human creativity,
Yeah.
but they see it more as like a tool for augmentation.
So it's more like AI and human versus AI versus human.
Exactly, like a collaboration.
I like that.
So like imagine a musician using AI to help them come up with new melodies or experiment with new sounds. Or a filmmaker using AI to handle like the really technical parts of editing so they can focus on the story.
It's like giving these artists superpowers.
Yeah, totally. And it's not just limited to like the arts either. They were saying how like architects are using AI to design more sustainable buildings.
Wow.
Engineers are using it to optimize infrastructure.
Bro.
Even chefs are using AI to come up with like new recipes.
So AI is infiltrating every aspect of our lives.
It really is. And I
Yeah.
think that's what they were trying to get across.
Uh.
This isn't some far off thing. This is happening right now. And the question is, are we going to be passive observers in this AI revolution? Or are we going to learn how to use these tools and actually shape the future that we want to see?
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've gone from, AI doctors to AI students,
Right.
to custom GPTs. And we haven't even gotten to the really fun part yet. Oh, there's more.
Yeah.
Don't leave me hanging. What else did John and Jonathan have to share in this AI treasure trove of a YouTube video? All right, so back again, and you said something about the fun part. What is it? Did John and Jonathan break out an AI karaoke machine or something?
Not quite, but this next part is pretty wild. They were talking about how AI is changing audio and video production, and trust me, this is exciting stuff.
Okay, now you've really got my attention. So we've got AI doctors, we've got AI students, AI marketing gurus. Now you're telling me we've got AI composing music for our podcast too.
It's crazy, right? They were demoing all these AI tools that can generate original music in like any style you can imagine.
So wait, I could literally get an AI to make us a theme song for the deep dive.
I'm telling you.
Something catchy, maybe a little mysterious.
Exactly. Or picture this. This whole episode translated into like 20 different languages using AI reaching a global audience.
It's like we're giving the power of a whole production studio to anyone with a laptop.
Right. Like imagine no more spending hours searching for the perfect royalty-free music or trying to teach yourself how to edit videos.
Okay, but I've got to ask, what about the humans who do this for a living? The musicians, the editors, what happens to them?
That's a good question, and they actually address that directly.
Yeah.
They don't see it as like an either-or situation.
Yeah.
AI replacing humans.
Okay.
They see it more as like this collaboration.
So more like AI and human versus AI versus human.
Exactly.
Got it.
Like imagine a musician jamming with an AI, coming up with these crazy new sounds, or a film editor using AI to handle all the technical stuff so they can focus on the storytelling.
Okay, I can actually see that working. That's really cool. It's like instead of being afraid of the tools, we can use them to push the boundaries of what's possible.
That's what's so exciting about all of this. It's
Right.
not just about efficiency or automation. It's
Yeah.
about unlocking new levels of creativity and potential that we never even thought possible before.
I've got to say, when you put it that way, it's actually more exciting than it is intimidating.
Right.
It's like we're standing at the edge of this whole new world of possibilities and we have no idea what's in store.
And the craziest part is we're just getting started.
Yeah.
Who knows what kind of mind-blowing AI tools we'll be talking about a year from now.
Well, listeners, I hope you enjoyed this whirlwind tour of the current state of AI. Huge thanks to our listener who sent in that awesome YouTube clip. You know who you are. It just goes to show sometimes the most fascinating stuff comes from the most unexpected places. And hey, maybe someday soon, the deep dive will be produced with a little help from our AI friends. But until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.